And then the second point on the achievement awards and the essay for that, which is, I think, it's just the same. What's the proudest or best achievement that you've had so far in your life? What were the obstacles and what did you learn from it? I believe that's the question. So in your experience last year, like, what type of a story should it be? Should it be personal or professional? Or it's only 250 words, it's not that much. I'm sorry to bore you, Petra.
That's the Petra already has her offer. I'm just talking her out of it. So.
Why?
No, she's gonna take it. She's going into industry, but she promised she will still apply to consulting firms.
Okay.
Look, the story. By the way, Petra, do it as well. McKinsey Women's Achievement Award. Apply.
Yeah.
No, it's not so much. This is not about professional or personal. It's really this can be anything. This is a lot about where you show that you are a person who can have an idea, who can identify a big topic, who can move the needle in this, something that's worthy, but also big enough. But it's like this. The idea has to be big, but what you did doesn't need to be that big, but it has to be something real. Yeah, it's something that's 0 to 1. Have you done something? Yeah, it's not that you need to free India from England without violence. Yeah, you don't need to have done that. But sort of what is something? It literally asks, do you dare to think big? While at the same time, are you able to also act somewhere and really make a difference? Yeah, it's the same as consulting. I mean, we go in and then the big topic is AI. Yeah, of course, the big topic is AI. But then are we also able to, at the end of the day, really show where and which cost position is that AI going to really do something? Yeah. And it's and don't think about winning. Yeah, if you write this to win, the stories are not that good. It's place your bets. Don't hedge your bets. Yeah, it's nice to win it, but really nothing depends on it. So it's really throw your hat into the ring. Like, that's my story. Let's see. It's not about what can be the perfect story, because when you try to write the perfect stories, they become very bland and generic. It has to be a story that sort of where you get a bit of goosebumps. But as the great Paulo Coelho says, and I've been telling this 100 million times, he says, you have to trust the mind of the reader to actually generate the story. You can't over-explain it. And he says the intro to a book, says the first lines are lines like, he says, I was sitting in my garden in Andorra. There was an oak tree. And that's it. Yeah, everybody has an image now of the garden, the oak tree, the atmosphere, and everybody makes up their own image, and you have to trust the reader to make up their own image. Don't try to over-explain it. Don't try to force your point down the throat. I mean, last year, the winner, the story wasn't that completely outstanding. Yeah, it was this drama thing they did in school to raise awareness for trash. I think it was trash reduction. Yeah, it's like, what? That's it. Yeah, but it was a very personal story, and it was a good story. Yeah, it was. You rather think about, am I telling a good? a good story? Is this interesting? Are people like, oh, interesting? More like, tell me more. I want to know more about that person. Yeah. So don't think about winning. It doesn't work. Of course, you always think about winning.
It's hard to not think about it. I mean, I
But that's the
understand
key.
why.
But Trina, trust me, that's the key. That is the key. For a moment, don't think about winning. Think about, this is my story, and I expect everybody else to like it, and they will like it. But it is my bet. It's nothing more than a bet. If you try to write the perfect story, it's like, listen, I'll tell you a story from my side. I have a super easy time doing my podcast. Every day, I'm like, cool, what do I want to talk about today? I like talk about for 10 minutes. I have my little notebook with ideas, and I throw out stuff, and I don't care. And it's a huge success. Everybody loves it. And there's 170,000 downloads, and I've got people from around the world who say, man, this has changed something. Great. Now you should see me when I try to craft a webinar for sales purposes to sell this course here. Man, it is horrible. Like, I'm talking gibberish. It doesn't get done. It's the stories are not good. It's just plain horrible. Yeah. It's really, the less you care, the better it will become.
I think that's what happened last year. Now that I'm thinking about it and what I wrote, it was too detailed.
Yeah. Trying to sort of make sure they understand it. We can't make sure they understand it. It's more, what is my story? And then you win. So, but that's not to be said that we cannot work on it. We can make it very good. And stories do become better when you have somebody else read it and go over it again. And when telling you that, look, this is generic words, find a better example, make this shorter, make this sentences shorter. All of these things, that works, but it doesn't work around the creative spark. You can't force that. And I'm sure there's a ton of stories that you have, right?
That's why I think I'm like, I want to pick the best one, but I think what you said makes sense. Like, it just has to be interesting enough.
Mm-hmm. Right? It is. I don't know. Maybe you move these 200 CEOs whom you talked in front of, you move them to do something, and then, but you have to. It's important, in storytelling. You have to make sure you first tell about the difficulty, because only when you tell about the difficulty, the ball can roll down the hill and pick up some speed in order to get to your impact. Yeah, most people forget to say, why was this so difficult? Because speaking in front of 200 CEOs, maybe that's difficult or not. We don't know. Yeah, so you have to really show some obstacles on the way, and the worthy cause, and why was this, and what was the impact. Yeah, but it's really about picking your story. And this can be small. There's all these stories about, I don't know, starting an orphanage, raising awareness for trash reduction. There's a ton of great things. You have more. You can probably write 10 of them and enter them under different names, right? So just pick one and really ask your heart which one is the one that you want to put in there, or you would be proudest of when you announce it. You can say, oh, this is what I'm really proud of. It's scary. It is scary to the thought I am good enough, for my story is good enough, for it's gonna be me, that's a scary thought, right? The brain is like, no, I'm not good enough. Let's try to force this, but you are good enough. Good. So McKinsey Women's Leadership Award. Very good.